Shalom, shalom, shalom. So, before I go forward, Ruach Kodesh told me to be transparent. One of the things that I have been dealing with lately is remembering how things were in the past versus how they are now. And back in the past, before I backslid, when he would give me something to say on a public platform and even in person, a lot of people would listen. And now it seems like very few people listen. And so I've been struggling with that because I'm like, well, why are you telling me to speak? Why don't you just have the people that have the ear of a lot of people say these things and then just let me be quiet? And what Ruach Kodesh put me in remembrance of was Lot's wife. She looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt because she was so concerned about what was instead of what was to come, you know? And for a lot of us, we're looking back at the what was. So when you're driving your car, if you're looking in the rearview mirror, more than likely you're going to crash because you're not paying attention to what's in front of you because you're so busy looking at what already was. Excuse me, what you've already passed, what already was, you know. So, and he said that I needed to come on here and say that because being transparent and letting people understand that when you see people on here on YouTube, a lot of us are really putting ourselves out there and we don't know we don't know what's going to come back. You know, sometimes people get backlash from other places. Sometimes it's just like, did I hear you right? I did this video and now I'm just like, you know, so people are being really vulnerable by making these videos. So I would just, without the criticism, I would just say like, hear people out and take it to the Father. And then if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. And just let it be that. It's important that we support people that are being bold enough to come out here and actually say what Ruach HaKodesh told them to say and do what Ruach HaKodesh told them to do. Okay? And no, I'm not just talking about for me. I'm talking about for anybody that you see out here doing this and you know for a fact that Ruach HaKodesh has confirmed that this is Yahuwah speaking through them or working through them. You know what I'm saying? So without that, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'm going to get into the meat of the video. So do you know Gawd? And let me ask you again, and I want you to really think about it. Do you know Gawd? Selah. Okay, I'm about to show you what Ruach HaKodesh showed me. And then I want you to answer the question. And for those who don't know, Selah it's a pause of reflection. Okay? Which is why I paused to give you time to just really think about that. So I'm going to show you what Ruach HaKodesh showed me. And I want you to answer the question again. This is Yeshayahu or Isaiah 65:11. But you forsake Yahuwah, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for Gad, and that furnish the drink offering unto many. So I want you guys, going forward, I want you guys to, as a matter of fact, I think I'm supposed to be showing you guys this on the screen. So I apologize. Let me go back and read it again while I'm showing this to you on the screen. That's the whole reason why I have it on the screen record. You guys, I'm so glad that you guys know that I'm completely human. Okay, here we go. So Yeshayahu, Isaiah 65:11. But you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for Gad, and that furnish the drink offering unto many. Okay. So this is what it says in the Sefer, but let me show you what it says in the King James Version, since this is the version most people hold near and dear to their hearts, especially in the Southern Baptist churches. Y'all, if it ain't King James, y'all don't want to hear it. And we're going to get back to the definitions of these names and so forth. So just give me some time to do what Av Yahuwah has told me to do. I was already in chapter 66. I should have just gone one over. But you are those who forsake Adonai, who forget my holy mountain, who prepare a table. Oh, this is New King James. I'm sorry. I apologize, you guys. I'm like, it does have the name. No, it doesn't have the name. Okay, so, but ye are they that forsake Adonai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So the reason why I was told to show you guys what it says in this version is because what happened to the names? What happened to Gad and Mani? As a matter of fact, if you look at the New King James, which I already showed you, so I already kind of got ahead of myself. You look at the New King James, it has the names as well. It almost appears as though someone is trying to pull an okie dokie. An okie doke, okay? So why is it that it has the names in New King James, but not in the King James? And then when you go to the extra biblical resources, such as the blueletterbible.org, you'll be able to see the true meaning of troop and number. So why don't I go ahead and do that? I guess I forgot when I looked it up. I looked it up on my laptop, so that's why it's not already in here. Okay. So Blue Letter Bible automatically defaults to King James Version, so you can see that it says the same thing without the names. But you are they that forsake Adonai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So we're going to go to Tools. But when you go to Tools and you go to Troop first, you'll see H1408, and look over at the Hebrew. At the very bottom of the Hebrew, it tells you Gad. Okay? So when you click on it, Gad, I always go to the outline of biblical usage instead of the Strong's info because it's just easier to see the definition. So Gad, a god of fortune, a Babylonian deity. Okay? But we're going to go a step even further. Okay? Because if you go to where it says a variation, or it says root word etymology, a variation of H1409. So this is a variation of a different word, okay, in Hebrew. So we're going to click on that. So now this is pronounced Gawd, Gawd, okay? So showing the biblical outline, fortune, good fortune. So God or Gad is the god of fortune, okay? So in that scripture, it actually says, but ye are they that forsake Adonai or Lua, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for God, the god of fortune, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So we're going to get to unto that number in just a second, okay? So this is Gawd, God, fortune, the god of fortune, okay? So ever wonder why people in the quote-unquote church are always asking Gawd for money? This is why. Because they are saying Gawd, which we pronounce God. We pronounce Gawd as God. And that's because Gawd is really Gad, i.e. the elohim of, or the elohim, I'm sorry, of good fortune. This is the elohim of the prosperity gospel, okay? So this is the reason why they teach you to pray to Gawd, because they are telling you to pray to money, the god of money, okay? However, there was another name mentioned in that script, Mini. Who is Mini? And so let's have a look. So if we go back to that same scripture, Again, you see it says unto that number, then it says H4507, then it has a Hebrew, and at the bottom it says mini. Click on that. And I'm really doing it like this to also show you guys how to look for yourself too. Okay, so this is teaching you how to look these things up for yourself. Okay, so mini, we see that it's from a different word. We'll go there in a second. Okay, so let's go down to so mini, fate or fortune, god of fate, who the Jews worshipped in Babylonia. So let's go to 4487. Mana. It's a primitive root. To count, reckon, number, assign, tell, appoint, prepare, to count, reckon, assign, appoint. So, I mean, it basically repeats itself. So I'm going to leave that on the screen. And I'm just going to say, so now do you see why it's important that we call Alua by his true name and not the name we were given by Babylon, i.e. the land of confusion, okay? The reason I use the Blue Letter Bible is because it defaults to the King James and it uses Strong's references. So the Strong's Concordance is something that a lot of theologians use. I mean, they use other, like it's Henry something commentary, Matthew Henry commentary. So they use other extra biblical, but Strong's is the top like concordance that's used throughout all of Christianity, I can say. Strong's is widely accepted and trusted by many scholars, so it's hard to refute it since it's the tool that so many people use to interpret the scripts. So even in Strong's, it tells you what these words mean. So I find it interesting that a synonym is that a synonym? That a synonym for fate is destiny. Okay, so we're going to look that up too. Oh, we're going to look that up. Y'all don't pay attention to this stuff I be looking up. I be looking up stuff for people. So, okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it right there. I'm not even going to go down to Merriam-Webster because you can see it says similar words, fate. The very first one says destiny. Now, how many times have you heard people talk about, you're hindering me from getting to my destiny, okay? My destiny this and my destiny that, okay? And I think it's kind of interesting that these are the two false idol gods that were mentioned in Isaiah 65:11. Okay? So this is why people are always trying to guard their destiny and pray for money. So now it's time to put this into its proper context. Yeshayahu addressed Elua's people in Yehuda in the 8th century BC. Yahuwah pronounced judgment on the people through Yeshayahu, not because they lacked religious activity, but because they failed in moral and ethical living. Okay, so one of the purposes of this sefer is to show that Yahuwah is the only elohim. No other elohim exists. Okay, just him. Okay. I think I put on here that I'm going to go back. So I'm going to go back and read Yeshayahu 65 from the very beginning, because it's very important that we put these things into context and we're not just cherry picking a verse here and there and saying, oh yeah, this is what this means. Like, it's really important that we go back and reread and also go back and read the chapters before and after, because that gives you a lot of context too. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of reading, so y'all going to have to deal with my non-reading skills, okay? I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me. Okay, let me start over. I'm already screwing up. I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me unto a nation that was not called by my name. Okay? Not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walks in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. A people that provokes me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifices in gardens and burns incense upon altars of brick. which remain among the graves and lodge in the mountains, and eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, Stand by yourself, come not near to me, for I am holier than you. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burns all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense into their bosom your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, says Yahuwah, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Thus says Yahuwah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one says, Destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servants' sake, that I may not destroy them all. So he's talking about not destroying the remnant, you guys, okay? This is what he's saying. He said, I'm finna destroy y'all, but I'm finna leave a remnant. Because there are some of y'all that are actually doing what you're supposed to. And I will bring forth a seed out of Yaakov and out of Yehudah, an inheritor of my mountains, and my elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. And Sharon shall be a fold of flocks, and the valley of Achor a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. So we're going to look at Sharon, or Sharon. It's a plain. It's the name of a place in Yasharal. Achor, the name of a place in Yasharal. But you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for Gad, and that furnish the drink offering unto Meni. So you are a people that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my holy mountain, and prepare a table for the God of fortune, and that furnish a drink offering unto the God of destiny. This is what he's saying in this verse. Now that we've went through and we've seen what these two Elohim are. And I want you guys to understand, I want you all to notice that when I speak of Yahuwah, I say Elohim. And when I speak of the false idol gods, I say Elohim. There's a reason for that. Maybe one day I'll be told to. I just want y'all to really pay attention to that. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, you did not answer. When I spoke, you did not hear. But did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. So you chose that thing that I did not delight in. Therefore says Adonai Yahuwah, Behold, my servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of the Ruach. And you remember when Ruach is lowercase, it's talking about human spirit, or let's go in here, lowercase, in reference the Ruach or spirit of a human being or false deity. Okay. And you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. So your name, your reputation shall be a curse unto Yahuwah's chosen. Your character, your nature. For Adonai Yahuwah shall slay you and call his servants by another name. That he who blesses himself in the earth shall bless himself in the Alua of truth. Okay. So I know I'm reading different things. There's a reason for that. One day, if I'm told to tell you what it means, I'll tell you. But it's the male singular tense of Elohim, specifically used. So when it's bold, it's specifically used in the plural. That's especially with the article of the supreme Elohim, the creator of the heavens and of the earth. And we already know when it's in lowercase, it's in reference to the Elohim of the heathen. Okay. And he that swears in the earth shall swear by the Alua of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from my eyes. For behold, I create renewed heavens and a renewed earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. So this is very important, because go to Revelation or Kazan 21. And it starts off in verse 1 telling us about the renewed heaven and the renewed earth. So Yahusha through Yahuwah through Yeshayahu prophesied about this renewed heavens and a renewed earth. Okay. So we haven't gotten to that renewed heaven and renewed earth yet, have we? You know why? Because we're in the process of getting there. We're literally in the second Exodus. But I just want you guys to see, this is in the old covenant that everybody says, oh, we're not supposed to live by that anymore because we're in the renewed covenant. Well, they say New Testament because they take the re part off. But if you add the re to the new, it means that it's the same covenant revised. It's revised. Okay. So it's important that you guys saw that in verse 17. But be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So again, if you go to Revelation chapter 21, it says that he will wipe the tears from our eyes. There would be no more weeping, crying, and sorrow of heart. Okay. So he's literally, listen, he's not a man that he should lie, you guys. There should be no more thence of infant of days, nor an old man that has not filled his days. For the children shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. So I implore you guys to go to Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 28, starting in verse 15. So this is where the pronouncement of the curse Yahuwah gave to the children of Yasharah for if they didn't obey him. So this is what he's referencing, because in that it said that they would build and another would inhabit, they would plant and another would eat, they would work and another would enjoy the work of their hands. So that's the curse that he had pronounced. Prior to that, in the same chapter, from verses 1 to 14, it said that, what would happen if you would obey. So he's reminding them that, I'm going to keep that promise. Since you have obeyed, I'm going to do that instead of what I've been doing. Okay. So it's very important, you guys. Be led of Ruach HaKodesh as you're reading these scriptures, because I'm stupid when it comes to this, but Ruach HaKodesh, he is the Ruach of Chokmah, which is wisdom. Okay. He gives us the wisdom that we need in order to understand what Yahuwah is saying. We have to have ears to hear. And the only way that we have ears to hear is if we're born again of water, which is the water baptism, and of the Ruach, which is Ruach HaKodesh. Okay. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of Yahuwah, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, says Yahuwah. So in my studying, I went on to read a portion of chapter 66, and it was full of revelation from Ruach HaKodesh. I implore you to ask Yahuwah to open up his word to you, because his word is the keys to his kingdom, i.e. Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay. I also want you to think about the next time you think of cash, money, which has the tagline on the back, in God we trust. Okay. Because this is actually what they're saying. Gad is the God that they're actually talking about. Okay. Or Gawd, Gawd, is the God that they're talking about. Okay. That's why they said in God we trust. That's why they gave it a name that is so, because they notice they changed the way you spell it. They spelled it God, because they don't want you to know exactly who they're talking about. They want to trick you. And when I say they, I'm talking about the seed of the serpent. Okay, these are those that are willingly in service to Hasatan and his kingdom. Okay, and I am talking about human vessels that are willingly bowing down, because there are human vessels that are willingly bowing down to Babylon and to the serpent, which is Hasatan. Okay, they purposely changed it to a word that most people do not know the meaning of, so that when we see in God we trust, we're thinking about Yahuwah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. But that's not the God that they're talking about. And it's on the back of the money. Okay. So this is just a little brief, not a long video, just a little brief video. I wanted you guys to see this. As a matter of fact, Toda Ruach HaKodesh, he told me to go ahead and read the first four verses, of Yeshayahu 66, because I didn't even get that far into it. And I was like, whoa. So it says, thus says Yahuwah, the heavens are my throne and the earth is my footstool. So you remember what it says? I want to say in Psalm, sit at my right hand. No. And my Adonai said unto Adonai, sit at my feet. No, sit at my right hand. I'm sorry. Be nice if I got the, if I got the reference correct. Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Okay. I knew I had that written down somewhere. Give me a second, you guys. I know y'all are staring at the screen, but I'm going through my little notes real quick to see if I have it written down. I did at one point, but I guess I don't now. I'll put it in the description of this video, so you guys aren't just sitting there and staring at staring at the screen. Okay, for all those things, this is verse 2. For all those things has my hand made, and all those things have been, says Yahuwah. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite ruach, and trembles at my word. He that kills an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrifices a lamb as is. Why can I not read? He that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offers an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burns incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delights in their abominations. So they have chosen to do their own thing. Okay. So again, this is those people that says we're no longer under the law. We're in the New Testament. We're not under the Old Testament. And they take Paul's words and they twist them, because the desires of their heart truly want money and they want to be exalted. And so they have all these rituals. If you really sit and think about all the different videos and sermons and conferences that they have about, how to build up 7 streams of income and how to have God answer your prayers. I'm using God on purpose. How to have Gawd, Gawd, God answer your prayers. How to be the head and not the tail, even though he already told us how to be the head and not the tail. Okay. He told us that in the verses of Deuteronomy 28, 1-14, but they've chosen their own ways. So you have all these conferences, you have all these how-tos, all these witchcraft prayers. This is what you have. And they take the word of Yahuwah and they twist it for their own benefit, especially the sowing and the reaping. Okay. The sowing and the reaping. They take that and they twist it for their own benefit. And it's highly, highly evil and demonic. I also will choose their delusions. This was the verse that had me just go, whoa. And I'm going to stop at verse 4. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spoke, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. So the reason why I wanted to stop there is because I also will choose their delusions. Now listen, the renewed covenant is in cahoots with the old covenant, okay? And I'm going to show you guys that. Untitled Chapter, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, if I can get to it real quick. Tassalam, okay, we're going to say Second Thessalonians, because Tassalonikim, Shani. So Second Thessalonians chapter 2, okay? I'm going to start in verse 9 for a reason. Actually, no. Toda Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to start in verse 1. I'm going to go to verse 12. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by Ruach, nor by word, nor by safer, as from us, as that the day of Yahuwah is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called elohim, or that is worshipped, so that he as elohim sits in the temple of elohim, showing himself that he is elohim. So understand, this is not talking about a building. When it says sits in the temple of elohim, this is not talking about a building. It's talking about you, your vessel, your heart. The throne is your heart. And Hebraically, your heart is your mind. Just going to put that out there. But this is not talking about a building. Now, there will be a third building, and that is for the purpose of deception. But we are the third temple. Just want to put that out there. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know Alaf Tav, which holds what withholds that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that lawless one be revealed, whom Yahuwah shall consume with the ruach of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So I want to go back up to the first part of verse 8, because it's going to tie into one of the coming videos. And then shall that lawless one be revealed. Okay, so it's talking about the anti-Mashiach, but I just want you to see what he's called. He's called the lawless one, okay? Alaf Tav, even him whose coming is after the working of Hasatan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Even him whose coming is after the working of Hasatan, anti-Mashiach, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth. They received not the love of the truth. So it says that they might be saved. They didn't love the truth so that they can be saved. The truth is capitalized. Why? Because Yahushua HaMashiach is the truth, the life, and the way. And for this cause, Elohim shall send them a strong delusion. What did it say in Isaiah 66:4? Okay. Matter of fact, I got my computer in front of me. I'm going to pull that up while I'm talking to you guys. And you can read that over and over as I pull this up. Six and 4. I'm sorry. I think I said 5. So I will choose their delusions, is what it says in Isaiah 66:4. I mean, it says more than that. But so I will choose their delusion and bring their fears on them. Think about all the fear mongering that's going on right now. So everything that you're afraid of right now, he said that he will choose your delusions and he'll bring fear upon you. The same thing that you're afraid of, he'll bring it upon you. And for this cause, Elohim shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Yahuwah is gonna send you this delusion, okay? That they might be damned who believed not the truth, that they might be damned who believed not Yahushua HaMashiach, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. But we are bound to give thanks always to Elohim for you, brethren, beloved of of Elohim, because Yah has from the beginning chosen you to Yeshua through through sanctification of the Ruach and and belief of the truth. I don't know why it's so hard for me to read when I'm doing these things. Anyway, it doesn't matter because you guys can read it. It's on the screen. So, yeah, this is what he had for me to say for you today, okay? And again, I'll find the scripture. I want to say it's in Tehillim, which is Psalm. Guys, go with me real quick. Because if I can just show it to you on here, it would be so much easier. Nope. I'll put it in the description because I don't think I'm going to find it. Oh, Toda Ruach HaKodesh. So Tehillim Psalms 1, Psalm 110 and 1. Yahuwah said unto my Adonai, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. And then if you go back to the first verse of Isaiah 66, it says, thus says Adonai Yahuwah, or Alua, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. So I just want you guys to see how the scriptures are tied together. Okay. All right. Let me get off, you guys. Really pray on these things. Really sit and meditate on these things. And go into the Father and ask him whatever it is that Ruach lays on your heart to ask him when it comes to this. Okay. These are just breadcrumbs to get you going in the right direction. Okay. So whatever he speaks to you after that is what you need to do. I am not your elohim. I'm just a fellow servant. Like everybody else that you hear coming on here and saying what Yahuwah has told us to say, okay? Ultimately, you need to be bowing down to the Father and seeking his face because we don't have any more time to be guessing at this thing, okay? Because he's starting to hold people accountable for their work, okay? And by work, I mean, who are you bowing down to? Who are you submitting to? Are you submitting to him or Hashatan? Because whoever you're submitted to is whose work you're doing, okay? So I pray that you guys are having a wonderful day. And there will be a few more videos that I make right after this one. If I'm not mistaken, Ruach HaKodesh is telling me to post at least one of them again after this one. So I apologize in advance for the onslaught of videos, but hallelujah that he's even speaking, okay? Because, told our Ruach HaKodesh, he said, don't speak that yet. One more thing, I apologize. I just wanted to show you guys, Ruach HaKodesh told me to do that. So you see at the beginning where I said, define God. Now I'm going to go to Merriam-Webster, but I want you guys to see, it says God, and then look at the phonetic spelling, G-A-D-D, and the two dots at the top means it's pronounced ah. So it's God, okay? And if you read this, it says in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and the source of all moral authority, the supreme being. In certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity, a moon god, okay? So we're going to go to Merriam-Webster. Because Merriam-Webster, if you go on here, you can actually tap this and it'll tell you how to pronounce it. It's still the G-A-D and it's pronounced God, and you'll see the definition of it, okay? But I just wanted to, Ruach HaKodesh told me to throw this in here, and I'll let you go and read the definition, okay? You got to do some of this by yourself. But he told me to go in here and let you see this because I want you to understand that I'm not just making this up. This is literally how you pronounce this. And how you pronounce G-A-D, you pronounce it God. So I wanted you guys to see this, okay? All right. Shalom. Shalom, elohim.